When I talk with you about the evolution of family lines, I had two daughters. And at the time, believe me, I did not have words. I only had feelings, and they were not good feelings. But so my situation looked like this. Got dad, mom. So when my first daughter came along, she was on mom's line. Well, I could feel that energy, but I didn't know what you called it. I knew there was something that was different. I knew there was something different between my relationship to Bryn and mom's relationship to Bryn. So now the 2 years after that, so of course we got one that's on my line. So I've had the good fortune of experiencing a child as being the online parent and an offline parent over here. So what I thought was, like I said, in that evolution was, okay, if you have two children, then okay, maybe you'll have one on one line, one on the other line. And so that's kind of what I thought. And I had a friend who had two boys, and it was the same thing. One was on dad's line, one's on mom's line. And I didn't even have the family lines at that point. I just knew there was some connection to each one of those. But after I did family lines, after I did the legal pad and I had family lines, because that's what changed everything. Once I drew those lines on a piece of paper, I had something I could look at. Because it really was just like physics. It's the same as if we laid solid objects on the ground, if we talked about those things. Because we would say, well, one's closer than the other. And we use terms like that also. We use terms to say, okay, mom and dad are drifting apart. They're not as close as they used to be. Someone's come between them. Well, that's why you want a family unit to be tight. Those things can't happen. Physics don't allow that. Like in Prince Charles or King Charles now and Princess Diana, you wouldn't have a Camilla coming in. Camillas don't come in a family unit because no two things can occupy the same place at the same time. So, but I thought in that evolution, as I was saying, that if you had two children, that they would be like this, dad, mom, and then you'd have it look like this, child one or say child two. And I was talking to an assistant one day, and I was showing, this is what I've got so far, that, if you got two children, it's probably the way I think it is. And so when I was talking to her, I said, okay, so I knew there was two children, her and her brother. And so I said, okay, well, let me show you how this works. So you, whose line is your brother on? She said, oh, no doubt. It didn't take but a minute. People know this. He's on mom's line. And so we'll just call him brother. And I said, okay, so then you're probably on dad's line. And she paused. I'm waiting like, what's wrong here? This is pretty simple, right? And she said, no, that's not right for me. I'm closer to my brother than anybody in the world. And she said, and I'm closer to my mom than I am my dad. So I immediately saw on paper, just goes sister, brother, sister, right? They were both on the same line. No child is on dad's line. So then I started thinking about it, and I would find situations where you have 3 children or 5 or 6 children. All of them can be on one parent's line. They can be even. It really is a random, like flipping coins. I look forward to when universities or groups can do studies to see the impact and how this works, because we really need more information than I can give you. But what I saw was that what she let me know right away when she said, I'm closer to my brother than anybody in the world. Remember that word, I'm close. When you say we're close, look for the same line. But she says, I'm closer to my brother, and the family lines on paper shows what she was talking about. That was when I really reached a point like, wait a minute, I really do have family lines where it can be a valuable tool that I can share and bring peace. And speaking of peace, that's my goal, is to bring peace, reduce baggage for people, and create more boost in a family for children. And also help the grandparents that are dragging baggage around to understand and to bring peace, and the grandkids, not just children. So when I saw the this, and we talked about it, she also stopped and she looked at me and she said, like, thank you. She said, since I've been a little girl, I've carried a baggage around. Those are her words. Of trying to feel the same way about Dad that I do Mom. You see, you can't change the dynamics, but I found that understanding brings peace. And the more you understand this pillar of the Sarvis system, you'll be able to use this tool to navigate, to eliminate baggage and create boost. Thank you.